What's that? Oh, we're rolling? Oh. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I knew we were rolling. I pushed the button. I'm the only one here. Okay, today, I'm going to just deep dive into everything. No secrets left behind. I'm gonna tell you everything about my photography. I wrote down some points here because otherwise I will forget them 100%, and then this video will be less than ideal. Probably already less than ideal. So, what was that? Oh, the white background? I know. It was already up. I'm lazy. I didn't feel like changing it to the gray. Whatever. What? Oh, the table. Yeah, from the last video. Yeah, it's new. Do you like it? This wood structure. Beautiful. There's one thing you didn't know about me. I am a crafty person. I built this puppy. My bare hands. These two. And a few tools. Not bad, right? I'm just kidding. I didn't buy it. And it's not wood. It's hard plastic. Got it from Walmart. It's like 40 bucks. Anyways. Okay. So, let's start with the gear that I use. I know you're asking yourself, Keenan, you say the gear doesn't matter. And you're right. It doesn't matter. But people always ask me what I use, and so I'm going to tell you. Fuji. Fuji all day, Fuji every day, Fuji forever. I didn't always start with Fuji. When I first started out, I was using Nikon, right? And I had two Nikon D3300s, I believe. And, because you need one for backup. And I had bought and sold some cameras throughout then too. I had a Sony. There were a couple other ones. But I started out with just the cheapest Nikons I could get. I got some decent glass for them, some lenses. And I always told myself, I'm like, okay, if you can't make some sort of career, I don't know that I would label this as a career, but if you can't make it off using this stuff, then there's no need for you to purchase better stuff. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, it is better, it's better for me. I like the way these work better, but all the cameras are good today. Everything. It doesn't matter what you get. Just get something and shoot. Anyways, first one, Fuji X100v. This puppy is amazing. And you know what's even better? When you pull up to a shoot or a wedding and you're holding this little guy, people question everything that you're about. They're like, we might have hired the wrong dude. He's using a little point and shoot camera. It looks like one. It's far superior than that. So there's that. I have 3 cameras, right? And they're all prime lenses. That's all I use. I don't use zoom. If I need to zoom, I use my feet. Word to the wise. Fuji X Pro 2. This one has a 23mm, and these are crop sensors. So the 23 is actually like a 35. And then the X Pro 2, I have the 35 on here, which is actually like 50-ish. And then I have my workhorse. This thing. We have gone to battle. Gone to battle. Has a few scratches, a few dings, but it just keeps on trucking. Keeps on trucking. And this one, you always get the older guys. They're always like, is that a film camera? No, but it damn sure looks like one, doesn't it? The scratches and dings are just from no use. And then one time I was at a wedding, and for whatever reason, I didn't have my bag shut all the way. I went to go grab my bag, and all my cameras fell out right onto the ground. I was devastated. They were fine. So anyways, oh, and this one is the 50 mil. but it's actually like a 85-ish, somewhere around there. It doesn't really matter. So the main thing that I like about these cameras, and they're all like it, they're all f2 lenses, you know. I don't need to go any lower than that. I don't need a 1.8, I don't need a 1.4, I don't need a 1.2. And I mean, the bokeh or bokeh, if you're Australian, I don't think they say it that way. The difference between them is almost negligible, right? You'd have to, I don't think you need that. Unless you want to spend an extra $1,000, then by all means, go get those lenses. F2 does perfectly fine for me. I can go all the way up to 12,800 on these and be happy with the images. I never had to, but in any case, that would be fine. But I like that on all the lenses, the aperture rings are right here, right up on top. Can you see? Can you see? Will it focus? Will it focus? They're right here. And then the dials, right? You got your ISO, you have your shutter speed, and I mean, that's really all you need. Back button focus, all of them. I'm just not a very like technical photographer, right? I just shoot. Look for light, look for moments, go after them, shoot them. But I just love the minimal design of these, and the fact that they're compact. The lenses are nice and small. It's a lot easier the way that I shoot, doing like candid documentary stuff, especially at weddings, to go around with these, because no one pays you any mind, right? Go around, shoot. They just think you're part of the party, right? They think you're some cousin or uncle, or definitely an uncle. Look at the white hair. Definitely an uncle by now. Just going around and, you know, snapping some photos for the bride and groom. But that's why I like them. Small, compact. The dials are so accessible, and the image quality is just awesome. And I think probably the only way that I would ever move away from these is if I got the Holy Grail. You guys know what I'm talking about. The Holy Grail. Holy Grail. Holy Grail. Good Lord. The Holy Grail of cameras. You know? Did you figure it out yet? Leicas. Oh my God. Those beautiful, beautiful cameras. This one, the X Pro series, God, fumble, shit everywhere. This looks pretty close to a Leica. In fact, I like to refer to these as the poor man's Leica, because I'm just a poor, struggling photographer. And if you would like to contribute to my success, you can find my GoFundMe. I'm just kidding. I don't have a GoFundMe. Anyways, that's probably the only reason I would ever change. Otherwise, I love the system. They always do updates too, which is amazing. Firmware updates, it's great. Fuji, I think you really are the king of the industry. And I know you Canon shooters and you Sony shooters and you Nikon shooters are gonna ridicule me for it. I only have one thing to say to you. Brain it. I'm just kidding. Alright, fine, nobody. Too old, my knees hurt. Okay, second point I'm trying to make here, or I'm trying to tell you is, let's see, technical. That's why I wrote it down. It fits right in. I don't give a shit about megapixels. And I don't care about grain. I don't care about blurriness. Like, a good photo's a good photo. Doesn't matter. And if you're pixel peeping, for shame. Alright, point number 3. What do I use to edit photos? Lightroom. Lightroom all day, Lightroom every day. Don't do a lot of Photoshop, just because I'm not really good at it and I don't know what I'm doing. I've tried to watch videos on Photoshop, and they're like, well, you need to create another layer and create another layer and create another layer. And don't want to. I'm lazy and I just don't care. Don't care about that. So I use Lightroom. And Lightroom is just, it's super simple too. I have like 3 presets that I use, right? That I figured out that I like, maybe 4. And they're just base starting points. I apply it to one photo and then I just knock the rest out with that, right? Sync. And then I go through the photos and I look at them and I tweak things here and there if lighting's different, or if I want one in black and white. I do have a black and white preset, which is, it's nice. I like that one a lot. But yeah, Lightroom is super simple. Use Lightroom, or use Photoshop, or use whatever you use. Whatever you're using you probably like. If you don't like it, try Lightroom. I think it's like $12 a month and you get Lightroom and Photoshop. For Premiere, they charge like 20 bucks a month or $25 a month or something. I'm like, how do you get 2 of them for X amount and you have to pay double for one? Makes no sense. And Premiere, which is for editing videos, Lord almighty. There is so much you can do in there. And I know about that much you can do. And I'm good with that because I don't need any more. I'm very simple. Simple. Everything is simple. Okay, what point are we on? 3, 4, 5, I don't know. Point number 4 was my style of photographing. I think I kind of already covered that. But candid, documentary, right? That's what I like. I'll post people now and then, to get those shots in, but most of all, I just want to roam around. I want to catch the kids doing their things. I want to catch people being people. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything. That is what it's about, or at least that's what it's about to me. Dude, people with loud cars, I'm pretty sure you can hear that. Ridiculous. Put a muffler on that thing. Speaking of mufflers, so when I was young, this has nothing to do with this video, but I'm going to do it anyways. When I was younger, I had a truck, right? And as young kids do, you want to make your truck cool. So what I thought would be cool is straight pipe in it, right? Straight piped it all the way back. No cat, no muffler, dual exhaust. I had tips on it that were 4 inch. 4 inches huge, like 2 feet long. That truck was so damn loud. One time I was leaving work and I was driving down the interstate and I go by, if you're in Rapid City, you know where the Coca-Cola plant is. Anyways, I drive by there and there's a highway patrolman that has somebody pulled over. I don't think twice about it. Going by, right? And I get off on the exit and I see this car whipping behind me. And I'm like, oh, bet that was a cop. It was. So he pulls me over and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, not really, I wasn't speeding. He's like, have you heard your exhaust? I'm like, oh, I have. It's loud, right? He's like, yeah, it's too loud. It's like louder than the law permits. And he told me while I was sitting in his car, as he was writing me it was like $120 or $150 ticket. He was like, that person that I had pulled over, yeah, I left them to come get you. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So that night I did a good deed. Those people got off and I got a ticket. What was the lesson I learned? I didn't. I kept the exhaust and I just avoided cops, and if I saw one driving by, you just let off that gas and boom, right by. Silent mode. It wasn't really silent, but it wasn't, you could hear it down the road loud. So, what am I trying to tell you here? If you're young, straight pipe your truck. You probably get a ticket, but at least you'll sound cool. Moral of the story? Okay, I have no idea what point I'm on. Like, they're numbered in here, but I don't know what I left off on this video, so just rock and roll. Okay. Very important point. Don't just pick one lane. Don't just stick to one lane. Try all different avenues of photography, right? Doesn't matter. You could do seniors, weddings, or product photography, or newborns, or maternity, families. You can do anything. Street photography, landscape. Don't just pick one lane. Try to explore all the lanes, because in exploring all the lanes, you'll find out what you really like to shoot, right? And if you just pick one lane and you're stuck in that lane, oftentimes that's how you get burnt out. You just shoot the same thing over and over and over. It just becomes so irritating. Another thing, if you haven't read this book, the one that I was reading in the beginning, I wasn't reading it, but I was just looking at it. Steal like an artist. And one of the most important things in here was a quote. It said, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." And I don't mean stealing their work, right? But I mean looking at somebody else's work that came before you or that's here now, and you see something that you like, just take a little snippet out of that, right? You find something that you like, take a little snippet, just a little piece. Don't steal the whole thing. Don't steal photos. Speaking of photos, watermarks. Just take them off. Take them off the photo. When you have a watermark on the photo and somebody looks at that photo, their eye goes straight to the watermark. It detracts from the photo. Take it off. You don't need it. If someone's going to steal your photo and there's a watermark on it, chances are they're probably smart enough to Photoshop it off too. Or they're probably good enough, or whatever. Just take it off. You don't need it. Okay? Anyways, so find like just a little snippet of something that you like, and then take that piece and then expand on it and make it into your own thing, right? You're stealing a little bit and then you're making it your own thing, because trust me, the person that you're stealing from probably stole from somebody else too, and that person before them, and it's just a constant repeating cycle, right? Nothing's original. Everybody that has done something has taken something from someone else that they liked, right? That's why you look up to people. That's why you study other people's work. That's why you study painting or look at photo books or whatever, to get ideas so you can apply it to your photography. So don't just stick to one lane. Try everything. It's my most solid piece of advice I'm going to give today. Maybe. My workflow. It's incredibly simple. I will tell you about it in just a sec, but I'm going to read through this so I don't miss anything. Okay. My workflow. When I use Lightroom, bring all my photos in, right? I don't star them. Everybody stars their photos. I don't star my photos. What I do is I start on one, and then I look for the best one out of like that set, right? And then after that, I don't really click on the other photos. There's like a little preview screen, like up in the corner of Lightroom. And what I do is I just hold Control, and then I just click on all the ones that I don't want, and I just use that little preview screen up there. And I just go through the whole set like that. I know, it's crazy, but Keenan, you can't see if it's sharp. I know, and I don't care. Sometimes if I'm second guessing one of the photos and I'm like, well, I want it to be kind of sharp, but I don't need it like super sharp, I'll take like 3 photos from that little set, and then when I bring them up to edit them, I'll be like, I'll take out the other 2, I'll find the best one, etc. So there's that. I already talked about the presets. I have like 3 or 4 that I use that I really like now. And I use those for all different shoots. Let's see, if I didn't write it down, I'd forget. Fuck. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it open. Then I can just look down and look back up at all you beautiful people. The time it takes, right? So the time it takes for me to edit my photos. For a family session, right? I'll take probably 150 photos total, and it'll take me like from start to finish, and I mean going through all the photos and then editing the photos, exporting the photos, uploading the photos into Pixieset. If you don't have a gallery delivery thing, use Pixieset. It's great. I love it. 10 out of 10 recommendation. So then upload it to Pixieset and then send the link. That time frame is honestly maybe an hour. Maybe. Right? It's super simple. I have it down just to like, the workflow is, it's so dialed in now, right? It's super easy. I don't know why I keep saying right. Good Lord. Stop saying right, stupid. So yeah, an hour. And then, so you put in, so like a family session, I do half hour, maybe sometimes 45 minutes. But at max, I have a couple hours into it. Piece of cake. Oh, and I give people all the photos. I don't make them buy extras. I don't even make them buy prints off Pixieset, which you can do. I don't make them. In the future, I've debated maybe doing that. Like if you're gonna print your photos, you have to print them through here. The markup that I have on them is so, like, I don't make hardly anything. But anyways, so I give them all their photos. I don't make them buy the photos as well. Like I don't charge a session fee and then I don't make them, or I don't charge for them to, obtain the gallery too. I think that's idiotic. I don't know why you would do that. But you're devaluing your photos. Listen, we're in Rapid City, South Dakota, and we're taking pictures of families, seniors. Why? Like, what does it matter? You're not in a museum. You're not putting on galleries. I'm not. Why does it matter? Just give them the photos. Let them have them. They'll be happy. They'll come back to you, and you can do it all over again. And then one day, when I am 95 years old, if I make it that far and I've had my first gallery showing, I'll be like, I shouldn't have given all the photos away. How do you find clients? I'll tell you right now, and this is the biggest secret that I have. I don't. I don't search out for people. I don't comment on anything. I just let people come to me. Like if they're already messaging me, chances are they probably want to use me, right? And recommendation, word of mouth, that's the best there is. The only other thing I do is I do like sponsored ads on Facebook. Not much, like $1, $2 maybe. Run it for a day, 2 days. Just gets extra people. They see it, you can invite them to your page. And then a lot of the times, those people are like, hey, how much do you charge for photos? I saw an ad on Facebook. And I'm like, let's talk. I don't charge enough. I'm just kidding. I think I charge a decent amount, right? There's right again. Fuck. This video is not curse-free. I should put that in the title. Really, my last point here. Free gigs. Should you or should you not do them? I say when you're starting out, absolutely. Do free stuff. Do whatever. Do whatever you can to build a portfolio. Because I find that it's difficult to charge like $100, $200, $300, $400, whatever you're charging for a session. You have no work to show for it. Maybe you can get away with it. But it's also nice that if you screw up, you'd be like, hey, it was free. I'm sorry. Didn't cost you anything besides a little bit of your time. Go find a different photographer. I'm sorry I screwed it up. Or try to rectify it with the people. Most people are understanding. And if they aren't, their loss. It's their miserable life. Let them sulk and be angry and upset. So yeah, I think that using or giving free sessions when you're starting out is good. I also think that giving free sessions out throughout your career or every year or whatever, I think that's also good. Not all the time, but once in a while, You know, I'll throw out a free session just here and there, randomly. I think it's good to, you know, because a lot of those people, they'll come back to you or they'll recommend you to someone else. That free session is going to pay off. So, yes to free sessions. So that's all I really have for you. Nothing too crazy. I hope you guys learned something. If you didn't, I'm sorry and I apologize, and I will try better next time.